Now, as many of you may know, David has a problem. The body of a missing girl named Celeste Rivas Hernandez was found in his trunk. But the thing is, this story is so complex that it spanned many internet theories and speculations. So we're going to try to break things down and get to the root of this story. And we'll start with David himself. David started out as a Fortnite YouTuber. He's making Fortnite videos, but the music he's putting behind his videos keep getting copyrighted. So he decides to start making his own music. People start enjoying the music he's putting behind his Fortnite videos, and he starts leaning into music a lot more. Now he then drops a few songs. People enjoy these songs, but then he drops a song named Romantic Homicide, and this takes the world by storm. People are making TikTok after TikTok. It is a massively popular song. From then he makes a lot more hits, and it's clear that David is talented. Okay, he goes on tour with SZA. He's absolutely making a name for himself. But the thing is, a lot of his songs revolve around death. Now, this isn't just a David thing. A few other artists make songs revolving around death, like Lana Del Rey. I can't think of anybody else, but a few other artists. David is really leaning into this though. He's bringing coffins in his shows. He's talking about he got other personalities. Like, he's heavy leaning into the edgy vibes, and people are rocking with it. Okay. Suddenly the police announced September 2025. These dates are important, so lock in when I say dates. September 2025, police announced they have found a body in David's trunk. People are instantly saying, nah, not David. David, popular singer online. He's young. He doesn't fit the vibes. A few weeks pass by and police identify the body, and it's that of a young girl named Celeste Rivas Hernandez. I'm going to put her age on the screen, and you're going to realize why I said young girl. Now, once police identified who the person was, all hell breaks loose for David, because people online start pointing out a few facts that connect David to Celeste Rivas Hernandez. For one, the police announced that Celeste Rivas Hernandez had a tattoo on her finger. People noticed, oh snap, hold on, David has that exact same tattoo on his finger. Now, multiple other singers have this tattoo, like Rihanna and like two more people I can't remember off the top of my head, but that's not important. The fact of the matter is, the fact that they had the same tattoo started people along the trail. It had a majority of people going from, oh, this is a coincidence that a body was found in his trunk, to, oh, there may be a connection. Okay. And multiple people start to come out saying, yo, there's definitely a connection, because people knew about David and Celeste's relationship. At least people claim they knew about Celeste and David's relationship. And I want to be very specific there, because technically what I'm about to tell you are facts from the internet. Now, these are pictures and these are written things, but you got to take everything with a grain of salt because of how the internet works nowadays. That being said, even though I say take things with a grain of salt, I mean like one grain of salt. There's some things that are just like, okay, David and Celeste, they most likely had a relationship. You'll see what I mean in a moment. Let's start with David's Discord server. The name Celeste pops up in David's Discord server multiple times. David at one point is saying, yo, is Celeste in here? Celeste pops up and says, yo, David, bark. Someone at one point says, yo, David, drop the song about that missing girl, Celeste. Oof, incriminating. You see people saying, yo, is David dating someone? Someone saying, yo, yeah, David is dating somebody named Celeste. Multiple times. Her name just popping up multiple times. Going back to when somebody said, drop the song about the missing girl, Celeste, TMZ reported that they found an unreleased song where David is speaking about somebody named Celeste. Now let's get deeper. Let's get deeper into the evidence that they knew each other. Let's go back to this missing persons poster. I want you to notice that Celeste is from a place called Lake Elsinore, California. And a photo of David surfaces where he's in Lake Elsinore, California, interacting with someone. Now, being from Los Angeles myself, I'll tell you this. There are so many different cities in and around Los Angeles that I didn't even know Lake Elsinore existed. And I've lived in Los Angeles my entire life. Because the thing is, Los Angeles kind of splits up into multiple rings. There's like the inner part of Los Angeles, which is huge. There are a bunch of bunch of different cities. And then there's more like Los Angeles County, where there's a bunch more different cities, like Beverly Hills, technically, Compton, the Valley area. And then you got a third ring where you're just outside of Los Angeles County, where there's like Oxnard, San Bernardino, Lake Elsinore area. Now, this third region is really where you start getting different cities. This is where you get to a point where people don't visit these different cities, and those different cities don't come to Los Angeles extremely often. Now, I say this to point out the fact that David going to these third tertiary cities, and I would even consider Lake Elsinore like a fourth ring city, he had to be there for a specific reason. And according to the people in the photo with David, they say David was there to pay them off because they knew about his relationship with Celeste. And remember, Celeste's age. David probably didn't want that info getting out. Now, this student was a classmate of Celeste. How do I know that? Because a video pops up of Celeste's teacher saying, hey, Celeste was one of my students, and the person in the photograph with David was one of my students. He confirms that Celeste ran away multiple times. He asked Celeste's friends what happened to her. They said she ran away with a rapper from Los Angeles. He then says, this next part's important, that Celeste comes back. You see, Celeste was reported missing multiple times. He says Celeste comes back because her parents and the police brought her back. Now, Celeste's family did know Celeste was in a relationship with David. Celeste's mom confirms this. Celeste's brother says he absolutely knew that she was in a relationship with David. They tried to report it to police, but there was only so much they can do, according to police, which absolutely does track. Sadly, there's only so much that police actually do when it comes to a missing person. But remember, I did tell you Celeste did come back at one point, brought back by the police. According to a private investigator, Celeste's mom found out that Celeste was in a relationship with David. She emails the mother, emails David's manager saying, look at this age. What's going on? The next day, Celeste gets sent back to Lake Elsinore. But after that, Celeste ups and leaves again. She's actually caught on video the next time she leaves. But then here's the interesting part. It's confirmed that Celeste actually comes back again, September 2024, last year. And I want you to remember this day because this is the last time we see Celeste on video. She's arguing with a neighbor.
You gonna let a woman talk? All right, I'm not gonna let your woman talk.
This is the last time Celeste is on video. Why I say that is because I want to go back in time again. Okay. We talked about how people know about Celeste and David's relationship, but let's talk about the evidence that David and Celeste were in a relationship in the first place. Okay. So remember, people know about the relationship September 2024, last time we see her on video. Okay. Going back to before September 2024, where it's speculated that David and Celeste were together. At one point, a girl who looks like Celeste. Now, here's the thing. Here's the difficult part. A side note. You never get like a full-on clear look at this person that people are speculating is Celeste Rivas Hernandez with David. Because the thing is, David has a type. Curly hair, brown skin, Hispanic. He's got girls in music videos that people believe look like Celeste. And he's generally around girls that look like Celeste. Now, a girl who looks like Celeste is seen walking backstage at one of David's concerts with David's brother. Multiple Instagram videos come out where David's holding hands with somebody with Celeste skin tone. They have a tattoo, David, on their finger. Now, if you remember, police came out and said that there was a tattoo on Celeste's finger. They did not point out that there was a David tattoo on Celeste Rivas Hernandez's finger. Now, the thing is, when they found Celeste's body, it was heavily decomposed and dismembered. So it's really sad to say, but maybe police didn't see all of her, or maybe police just didn't want to release that information. Regardless, there is a girl with a David tattoo popping up in multiple Instagram stories and Instagram posts of David's. People believe this to be Celeste Rivas Hernandez because of the timeline. Celeste Rivas Hernandez was seen to be really into Hello Kitty. David also really into Hello Kitty. Celeste Rivas Hernandez, in one of her missing persons posters, was reported to have ran away with Hello Kitty shoes. David is seen in video with a girl who has Hello Kitty shoes. But by far the biggest piece of evidence that they were together is a live stream video, a since deleted live stream video, where David is talking to a girl that resembles Celeste Rivas Hernandez, but it is not clear. Now, remember that video from September 2024 when Celeste Rivas Hernandez is confirmed to be arguing with her neighbors. The last video seen of her. The voice of the girl in that video and the voice of the girl in the live stream, they're very similar voices. Like, they're most likely the same person similar.
You gonna let a woman talk? All right, I'm not gonna let your woman talk. Bye.
It's been a good one. Bye.
Bye, guys.
But regardless, the girl in this video is telling David, yo, you probably should delete this live stream. Nobody knows why she's saying that, but David goes, oh, you're probably right. People in the chat start saying, ooh, David's going to be on the Epstein list. David then tells the girl on live stream, I media trained you. You wildin', like, chill out. The girl on live stream then says, media trained me. Whole time you're out here R-wording folks of this age. People in the chat start losing it. David saying, delete the video. We got to delete this video. She's laughing saying, delete. They ain't deleted. Now, again, all of this before September 2024. And why I keep saying that date is important is because throughout the time that Celeste was missing, you see videos, pictures of David with this person that is believed to be Celeste. Albeit she's covered up, albeit she's in the background, but she's still there. After September 2024, everything goes dark when she's reported to have went back home. After this, who knows? She could have went back to David. But the point is, there's a year of darkness from when we last see her on video to when she's found in David's trunk. And here's where things start getting a little more peculiar. Wait, that's not my line. Here's where things start to get wicked. Turns out there's another Celeste. Because after September 2024, around July 2025 area, another girl starts popping up in multiple videos around David. David's bringing her to events. David has her on live stream with famous streamers. People thought this was Celeste Rivas Hernandez, but it turns out it is a girl named Celeste Herrera. She confirmed it herself. She says, look, I'm the other Celeste y'all see on video. Jason the Ween, a famous streamer, says, yes, the girl I met was named Celeste Herrera. She's 23. That is who I met. And she is 23. Now, she seems connected to David. They seem like they're in a relationship. People believe that this could have been the girl from Celeste's live stream. And again, you see, that's where things get confusing. Nobody knows when this new Celeste Herrera entered the picture, at what point they were together. Celeste Rivas Hernandez, Celeste Herrera, they dress similar, they have similar skin tone. And when I say they dress similar, they're hooded up, they're low key. That being said, I do want to point out many people believe, okay, David, absolutely innocent. Whole time it was Celeste Herrera. But I want you to remember all of the other evidence that Celeste Rivas Hernandez and David may have had a relationship, like Celeste's family, like Celeste's teacher, like people in Celeste's neighborhood. So just because David could know one Celeste, two Celeste, four Celeste, like I said, there was one Celeste that was found in his trunk. Okay. So David knowing multiple Celeste does not rule him out of an investigation automatically. Lock in. Now, all this information is important because it makes things trickier for police in a sense, but it also shows that there is a story. And here's what I mean. Police will most likely figure out what happened because of all of the information out there. Now, will police be able to prove it in court? That is the question. If David is responsible, because David could not be responsible. He could be partially responsible. He could be all the way responsible. And that's what police need to figure out. That being said, again, there's so much evidence, it seems, out there that this is one of those ones that will most likely be figured out. It's not going to be like a cold case. Celeste's family absolutely needs to be spoken to. David needs to be spoken to. The Tesla needs to be uncovered, because Teslas do not get robbed often. They are walking cameras, driving cameras. You know what I mean? They record everything. And even if the Tesla's not recording, that's also a clue. Word to Scooby-Doo in them. Because if the cameras for the Tesla stop recording at a certain period, that's when they know, okay, cool, bet. Someone who had access to this vehicle, someone who was able to control this vehicle, did not want the Tesla recording in this period. That's evidence. The Tesla was found close by David's manager's house, but it's clear that it's David's house. David was living in the house. The manager said it themselves. They were all over TikTok at one point saying, yo, man, you know, I'm just out in Texas. I got my family. I'm chilling. I got nothing to do with, you know, what's going on with David over there. A little unprofessional, to be honest, but that's what David's manager said. David hires a high-profile lawyer, a lawyer who represented Harvey Weinstein, amongst other high-profile celebrities. I bring that up to point out the fact that if police believe that David did commit this crime, they have a hurdle to leap over with David's current lawyer. They need to bring down the evidence, because David's lawyer will be prepared. Now, all that being said, this story leaves for, understandably, a lot of speculation, because there aren't too many confirmed facts. But more importantly, any story can be used by David's lawyer if he's arrested for this. David's lawyer could say, yeah, David absolutely did know Celeste. He didn't know her age. As soon as he found out, he sent her back home. Or David's lawyer could say, yeah, David knew Celeste. He found out her age, but he stayed with her. That wasn't cool. But September 2024, where, if you guys remember, all the videos stopped where, you know, David's with Celeste, that's when David stopped talking to her. David's lawyers can point out everything that I pointed out in the timeline. David's lawyers could say, look, all throughout 2024, you see these pictures of David with this mystery girl. That was Celeste. We can confirm that he was with her. September 2024, David has no idea what happened to her. All of a sudden, one day, she pops up in his trunk. He's being framed. I say that to not say that that's actually what happened, but to say that in court, if that's something David's lawyer says, if it gets to that point, then police would absolutely have to disprove that. So that's why police are taking so long with this investigation. They have to cover up all the bases, cover up all the stops. If it goes to court and not enough information is had, David's lawyer's story will win, because reasonable doubt. Can you prove me wrong? Is what David's lawyer would say. If you can't, if you have no video evidence after September 2024, if nobody knows where she was, all that, then what? But I'm getting way too ahead of myself. Who knows the evidence that police will find? Now, let me be clear again, because I know how the internet be. This is not my standpoint on the David and Celeste situation. This is an example of an argument that a lawyer can make in court to try to get him out, because it's not guilty or innocent, it's guilty, not guilty. So as long as David's not guilty in the eyes of the law, then he's going home. Not guilty don't mean somebody didn't commit a crime, but that means they're going home. And again, that's why this investigation has got to be thorough. My opinion personally, and I think it's because of the nature of what I do and my science background, I can never confirm something unless I see 100% proof. Confirm something either way. I believe that he absolutely knew Celeste Rivas Hernandez. I just don't know what happened after September 2024. But once we get the evidence, that's when I could tell you 100% whether he did something, whether he didn't do something. And I'm okay with saying I don't know, but we will find out. And once we do, you know, a video coming out to you hot. That being said, we'll end this video off by saying rest in peace to Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Tragic story of a young girl taken way too soon. I hope her and her family find peace.